Good morning, my brothers and sisters, on this episode number 179. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we continue discussing the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and to play. I am one of your four hosts, the Brazilian Mountaineer and Transition Ninja, Lucas Ham Swisher. Also with me, the judge of the jury and the executioner of fake news and spoilers, Patrick Novaso.
I like the way your mic is set up right now because you kind of look like you're half like Wilson from Home Improvement, and the other half you're like trying to look over the
Heidi
fence,
ho,
like what's
neighbor.
going on. Yeah,
I mean, that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. I'm just
I
your
like
friendly neighborhood podcaster, man.
yeah. That's not sticking.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I doubted myself halfway through. That's why I kind of paused. I was like, that's Spider-Man, doofus. All right, moving on. On his left and my right, but only in spirit, the Rocket League and Beast of the East, who can make you laugh in 3 words or less, or your money back, Ronnie Johantis, who is otherwise indisposed this evening. But again, he's still with us. And the last but certainly not least final member of the GMG Quadfecta, who's got music in his heart, Apex Legends on his brain, and La Carreta in his old stomacho, Marc Boucher.
Hey.
Hey-o.
How you
What's up,
doing?
guys? Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Dude, I'm tired.
Great. Are you?
Yes.
You're tired?
Yep.
You need
I
to
am.
wake on up.
Yep. I'm doing my best.
Yeah? Are you? What are you doing to make yourself untired right now?
Being
recently?
on this show.
Oh, is it
Ooh.
you're oh, is it on us to wake you up?
Yes,
Who
absolutely.
needs coffee when you got a
When-
podcast?
When
Yep.
you got a cup of Pat and a cup of Lucas. Best part of waking up. Patrick in your cup.
I'm not sure.
Gross.
Does that
that's-
not how that works?
No, it's
That's
not.
not how any
You
of
do
this
like
works.
that. You do like that Roman bath where they used to scrape their sweat off their bodies and you just put it in a cup and you say, here, drink this. This will wake you up.
Good night,
Mark.
everybody.
All right, with
You're
that,
nasty.
Patrick, since we got to cover Patrick to wake us up this morning, why don't you share with us what you've been up to, brother? What's new with you?
Yeah, so nothing really happened on the life front this past week, other than we got ice and snow over a couple days, and we were stuck
Gross.
in the house. It was just like it rained for like 12 straight hours, like freezing rain, and then
Ugh.
right after that it snowed. So we were just like, today was the first day that we were able to even do anything with the driveway because it was just it was bad. So the
That sounds bad.
wife got out there. It got like 40 degrees this afternoon and it was sunny,
Woo,
so it
heat
melted a
wave.
little bit. I know, right? So
Put on that
uh,
sunscreen. You don't want to get
yeah.
that snow reflection burn that just sneaks up on you and gets like under your neck.
I mean, with all the snow and the white, and it was like it was blinding. It was
Oh, yeah.
absolutely blinding, you know.
Yeah.
So because it snowed and it was ice and really couldn't do anything, so I watched some movies and played some games.
Oh, you poor guy. Nothing
I
else
know,
to
it's
do.
a-
I guess
wait
I'll
a-
watch
for
some
the
movies and
cause.
play some video games.
Wait a second, that's even if it's nice out. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So I watched this movie, and it was hard to watch this movie. It was American Underdog, and it's the story of Kurt Warner and his rise to into the NFL. It was kind of like The Rookie with Dennis Quaid, where
Ooh, I
he's
like
just
that one.
an old guy trying to get into the Major League Baseball, and the same thing with Kurt Warner. It was a really cool story, like a tearjerker. There were some ups, there were some downs, and the way this movie was amazing. So I am a sports guy, and anytime I watch sports movies, you know, like if they throw the ball wrong, I'm like, man, they did not practice. That's not the way you throw a baseball. That's not the way you throw a football, and it takes me out of it though. But the main guy who plays Kurt Warner is Zachary Levi,
Mm-hmm.
and he was throwing, and I was like, man, that looks like Kurt Warner throwing. Like it was like spot on. And so I paused it, went to the internet, went to YouTube, found some throws that Kurt Warner made, and I was like, that is exactly how Kurt Warner throws, and it was so awesome. That that attention to detail
He
to
understood the
that
assignment.
was which was really cool.
Wow. That's
Um,
impressive. I thought you were going to say like Kurt Warner like threw for the movie, like, and they just
They
filmed it
put
and then just
Zachary
kind of
Levi's face
spliced
on
it in.
there.
Yeah,
No.
like they did a deep fake.
That's funny the way you say that, because the way this movie was shot, I mean, they brought back like 90s, late 90s, footage of Kurt Warner when he was in the Arena Football League. They
Oh,
brought
wow.
footage when he was when he came up through the NFL, and they did splice it in there. So it was really cool. They would show the play, and like halfway through the play, they would switch over to the real footage of the game that he was in, and it was amazing. It was like going from a cutscene to actual gameplay in video games. You're like, wow,
Nice.
it was really cool the way they did that.
Cool.
But yeah, it was tough because he came up and went to the NFL, and he played for the Rams,
Oops.
who is who the Bengals are playing this coming weekend. So it was really good. I mean, it's probably up there with one of the best sports movies I have ever seen.
Wow.
I haven't ranked him yet, but so far this year, it is the best movie I've seen this year.
High praise.
Yeah.
Have we ranked sports movies on this show? I don't remember.
I don't think we have. I think
we're gonna have to put a pin in that and come back to it.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Not that you were going there. Not that you were gonna be like, all right, let me tell you my top 5.
Yeah.
No, but we should. That would be a fun topic. Top 5 sports movies.
That would
Marc,
be. That would
how
be
many
cool.
movies would you be able to contribute to that?
Maybe 2
Angels
or
in
3.
the Outfield. Angels
All
in
right.
the Outfield. You've seen that one, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen bits and pieces of Rookie of the Year, but I've seen Angels in the Outfield.
Funky butt loving.
Henry Rosenbagger.
I've seen
Schlinger,
Remember the
Schlager.
Titans. I've seen Rudy.
Hot
All
ice. You heat up the ice. It's the best of both worlds.
Oh man.
So if I had to rate this movie, it's a 10 out of 10. Like
Nice.
it is
All right.
amazing. Even if you're not a football fan, because there's a lot of life in this. It's not just, it's someone who's striving to get somewhere because he has a passion for it. And that's really the meat and the foundation of this movie.
Yeah.
Not a lot of football. You don't have to know anything about football. And I would recommend this to anybody. It's an amazing movie.
Fair enough. We'll put it on the list.
Yes.
The backlog.
Another one on the list that I
Another
also recommend is this show on Netflix called Welcome to Murderville. It is a show.
Sounds like a magical place.
So it is a comedy, and it's 6 episodes, 30 minutes each. Will Arnett, the comedian Will Arnett, is a detective, and every episode he brings on a celebrity, and that celebrity
I remember hearing about this. Maybe
has
from
no script, so they just have to react to it. And it feels like, have you ever seen like bloopers of any episode of a sitcom where people are laughing and it doesn't end up making the show? Those are in the show, like because Will Arnett is making them laugh, and they laugh and then just move on with the scene. So it is absolutely amazing. My wife and I watched it, 3 episodes one night, 3 episodes the next night, and I wish there were more. I really wish there were more. I think it would be better if there were comedians, someone who can think on their feet a little bit, because some of the people that were on there could not think on their feet, but it was funny still. I definitely recommend this show. It's a definitely 9 out of 10. It's not
Nice.
the best. It's not the best, but it's really, really good.
It's on Netflix. Is that right?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, it just came out.
Nice. Sounds fun.
It has cursory words in it, so you got to be careful with that.
Those old cursive words. I can't even read cursive, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't understand it.
guys, give me a second. I gotta. My dog did a silent but deadly right next to me, and I can't breathe.
Oh, no.
This is awful.
Rayla's like,
Oh my
here
gosh.
you go.
Oh,
Enjoy.
what did you
Man.
eat? Did you eat Long John Silver's when I wasn't looking, dog? Golly. She's over here asleep, twitching, and just twitching out little toots and just went right up, burned my nose hair. All right, sorry.
Oof,
Continue.
oof. Yeah. Speaking of burning your nose hair, I don't have a transition.
Oh, dang it. I hope you did. I was like, let's go. Transition. I love it.
So this past week, I beat Uncharted 4
Nice.
and
Hey,
Uncharted Lost Legacy.
there you go.
Man, Uncharted 4. So after playing through Golden Abyss, Uncharted 1 through 3, I mean, those are fun games. I mean, they're really fun. But Uncharted 4 is a masterpiece in storytelling, like an absolute masterpiece. Not only is it great storytelling because they have the graphics to tell the story, like the jump in graphicalness, if that's a word.
Graphicalness, yes. Put
it on
that
the
on the
box.
box. Yeah. What a jump in graphicalness.
Yeah, words are hard.
Hollywood bones. That's what it say
5
on
out
the
of
box.
4 stars. So are fractions. Fractions are hard too.
But yeah, it was a beautiful game. I played it on the PS5, and I think I don't know if it's out for anything else, but if it there was no
definitely
loading.
the Switch. It's on there. Nintendo
No,
Switch.
Switch goes their own way. They're not going to do anything like that.
Fine, be
but
that
yeah,
way. Don't go with the joke.
Beautiful game, beautiful story, great ending to the Nathan Drake saga.
What an ending!
It was so awesome.
No spoilers
And
though. Save it for the spoiler cast.
I can't talk about the ending, but I do want to talk about the ending in the spoiler cast for sure.
We will.
Yeah. And then I played Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy was, going off, on Uncharted 4, just a huge, high in that story was just so well done. And then going to Lost Legacy, I mean, it was a fun game. It was just side characters, in a main story. I just threw that on Explorer, because I beat Uncharted 4 on Crushing, and then I went to Explorer, which is the easiest mode, and I blew through the game. I did it in one sitting. I think it took me like 4 hours.
Okay.
Wow.
It's not a long game. I think I remember it came out and it was supposed to be DLC, but then it came out as a standalone game. So it had the DLC length to it. I think I back when it first came out, I platinumed it. It maybe took like 10 hours to platinum, so it wasn't really that long of a platinum. It was just those stupid collectibles that mean nothing. It's nothing like Spider-Man, where Spider-Man has awesome collectibles.
Story behind it. Yeah.
So
but you know what?
story. Yeah.
They hadn't like the video game companies, storytellers, whatever that makes that kind of stuff. They had not transitioned yet. So we'll just give them, you did your best.
So it wasn't the worst Uncharted game, but it was probably middle of the road. I would give it, a 8 out of 10, maybe.
All right.
8.5 out of 10.
That's
Not
middle
bad.
of the road. 8 out of 10 is not that bad.
I mean, it's an Uncharted game. And
it does
they're
have
fun.
a lot to go with it.
Yeah, they're fun games.
It would have a different score, probably standalone, but it's a part of the Uncharted universe. So
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it for me.
sweet.
Yeah.
Mark.
Well,
What's up?
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Hey. So,
What
is happening right now? I don't know.
Sorry. I almost got hit by horses on the road of
Mark's tired.
Yeah.
Lord.
Sao Paulo. So
This is
Hey just
what
came
happens.
out.
This is what happens
Yeah.
when you get tired, Mark, and playing around with horses, Lucas.
Yep, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hang with the horses.
No, this week was kind of plain old Jane boring for me in terms of the IRL.
My daughter's middle name is Jane.
Yeah, Jane
My
gets a bad
wife's
rap,
middle
man.
name
What's
is
that all
Jane.
about?
My
Plain-
mom's middle name is Jane.
Is your daughter's middle name plain old Jane?
No,
No,
Like
it's
one
not.
word? Plain old?
And
You
that's
Is her
Gotcha.
last name
There you go.
Boring? Plain old Jane Boring?
She changed.
Okay, it was plain old. Insert whatever name you want to put here besides Jane. Boring.
That's my middle name. What do you do?
How dare you, sir?
Dang it, twice. No.
Samsonite.
No. Very uneventful week.
That's like non-eventful.
Yeah.
His words are hard.
I guess we're all making up words tonight. Graphicalness.
That's impossible.
Non-eventful. I get to be next. Nobody make up another word till I make up a word. It's going to be a new game on the show. Let's do it next week when Ronnie's
Nothing
here and don't tell him
happened.
about it and then see if he says anything. We treat it like it's like the real words. Let's see what he
No,
says.
he's gonna
He
tell
said
you
the
to
secret
stop.
word. Yeah. No, nothing happened during my week.
It was non-eventful.
Events
Love it.
did
Okay.
not occur during my week. Well, they did, just nothing of highlight.
Fair
No,
enough.
at least on the
Non-highlight.
IRL side of things. It was basically the same old week. But on the gaming side of things, did have a little bit of fun this week.
Did you now?
Yeah, so I want to say it was Thursday night. Yeah. So Thursday night, I jumped into playing Super People with my buddy, our friend of the show, Watson.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
who-
Catman.
Yes.
Catman.
Has
Meow.
rebranded. He's no longer the co-op trio.
Tell me it has to do with cats. The new brand is like
It's-
some cat name,
It's not. It's not.
like Sir Meowth.
It's not.
I
Unfortunately,
think it
I'm very-
does.
very
What's
dis-
his what's
it
his
very
name now?
disappointed.
it should be.
Yeah,
What's his
he's
name
got
now?
A baker's
It's-
dozen cats.
It's actually King Amos.
You know what? I'll tell you what. What is the king of the jungle?
Lion.
Meow.
Cat. It's a cat.
Roar. It is a cat.
I'm putting
Meow,
those
meow,
together.
meow, meow, meow,
Yeah.
I'm making up my own narrative.
Meow, meow, meow. Yep, we'll take it. Sorry, Watson. You have a new brand, and it's all about cats.
I'll have to bring that up.
Congrats, for sure. Let him know.
But
We
yeah,
support him.
he reached out to me. He's like, "Yeah, man, you wanna play?" And I was like, "Sure." And this was like, he had posted something about PUBG going free to play, and how he was interested in playing it. And I was like, why not? I'll just jump in, whatever. And then when I messaged him about it, he's like, "Oh no, we're playing Super People." I'm like, "Oh, and yeah, I have the PC, but it's not like the banging top of the line PC, so I didn't know how well it was gonna play." It played okay. It wasn't like the best looking, graphically, but the
For
problem.
those who, just real quick, for those who don't know, like me, what in the world is Super People?
So Super People is a battle royale game. It basically, in terms of graphics, looks very similar to PUBG.
I gotcha.
Only it has Apex-like abilities. That there's different
Mm.
characters that have different abilities that you can acquire
it's like-
items.
It's PubPex.
Yes, basically.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's
Sounds like a puppy game.
like breaking it down. Yeah,
Paw Patrol PubX.
brand new PubX.
Yes, get it now. Get 2 bags.
I'd play it.
Your Clark would play it with you.
Absolutely.
All right, so tell us about this PubPex game.
Yeah, so basically, it's graphically it looks just like PUBG, down to the weapons, down to a lot of the graphics and things like that, and it has different characters with different abilities, like in Apex. The only problem with it is it does not have controller support yet.
Oh no.
So
Ooh,
yeah,
got to use that old mouse and keyboard.
so I had to use mouse and
the, old,
keyboard.
the old clicky clickies.
You had to use the power glove.
I wish I had the power glove. It probably would have
Plug
been better
that baby
than this.
in.
I mean, what else are you gonna play with? You're playing Super People. You gotta have a power glove.
Power
Yeah.
glove is bad. It's real bad. But yeah, it was a nightmare and a half. Trying to play with a mouse and keyboard. I know there's plenty of people listening out there that they're diehard mouse and keyboard people, and they're like, man, it's so easy. Like, no, not for a guy who's been playing with controller literally his whole life.
Right.
Since he was a fetus.
Yes.
Came out, mom gave him a controller.
Yeah. Yeah. I literally had an NES controller that was attached to the umbilical cord.
You did not have a blanket. You did not have a little
Nope.
lovey. You didn't have a pacifier. You had a controller.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what made you happy.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But so it was terrible.
Great. We're so happy for you.
I had a fun time with Watson, don't get me wrong. But in terms of playing the game,
it was terrible.
It was terrible. No, like
was the game terrible or the experience because I'm playing a mouse and keyboard?
The experience of playing mouse and keyboard is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm probably if I had gotten like tons and tons of practice, I'm sure I could be halfway decent with it. But like just trying to jump in there with something like an FPS, like
right,
like Super People, it was terrible trying to move, and it's like, and I'm dead. And like I have such a hard time with the WASD, the keys, trying to move that way.
Oh yeah.
And then like some of the item menus are like F and Q and things like that. I'm like, that just feels horrible to me.
You got to take a typing class just to figure out the controls for. All right, QWERTY.
I shouldn't have to look down for an extended period of time to see where my fingers are going.
That's exactly the way I am when I'm playing Nintendo. I'm like, what is the X? Why is it why is it over here?
You know, it's funny. A quick aside, playing Xbox with the kids. And I'm like, without missing a beat, I tell them to press a button. I'm like, press the square button.
Oops.
And they're just like, oh yeah, we know.
Yeah.
At first they were like, wait, what? And I'm like, just don't worry about it. Press the square button. And it worked because they knew PlayStation. I can't figure it out. Like the buttons don't make no sense with the letters and the colors. And
science.
I'm like, no, it's square, triangle, circle, X, not cross.
Shots fired.
You crazies.
But
cross.
No, it's always a good hanging out with Watson. But I just they need to get some controller support for that if I'm gonna play it again.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Because I mean the game itself, it works well.
Super.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's pretty super. But otherwise, I think I'm at a point in my life where this is one of those things where you can't teach an old dog new tricks in this case.
Yeah.
You know what? I think, when people who are PC gamers and they play with mouse and keyboard, do you have a gaming mouse?
I don't.
Yeah, because I think with, with having extra buttons on like, the thumb, because I was talking to Eric East at Bangoman09, and he said that he's got like a mouse where it's got buttons on the side, which allows him to easier access to button presses. Because I understand how the WASD, like I don't, my brain can't for whatever reason figure it out. So I'm with you, man.
Yeah, it's weird because your two fingers and thumb are that's mainly what you're using, unless you've got like the little the
back
paddles underneath.
Yeah.
But with
I have never used my pinky or my ring finger for gaming.
Yeah.
Like I just think about the idea of using these bad boys for something, and it's like, no, they're there to support the controller.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've used my elbow before. I don't know about my pinky.
I've used my chin.
I've done that. Yep.
I've used the
not my pinky and ring finger. Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. And then of course Saturday streamed some more Zelda, moving the needle on Link to the Past. We are about halfway through the Dark World side of things. Low rule, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think probably next Saturday I will have finished Link to the Past, if we keep the momentum going. And then we'll move on to Ocarina. which I think this time I'm going to play on the Switch and see if the controls are any better than playing on the original N64 version. Technically, I played the Wii U version when I played last time, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But it was a lot of fun continuing in that world for sure. And then Sunday, jumped in with the Comics and the Cross crew. The
All
comic
right,
clan,
all right.
if you
Look
will.
at you. You're just like a little ambassador out there,
Yeah, I'm trying.
hanging out with all the cool kids.
Put myself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cross invited me and several other of his friends, streamer friends, podcast friends, to join him because they took a little like 6 or 7 week break for the holidays and things like that. So they were bringing their official welcome back to bringing their podcast on.
Oh, okay.
And they
Cool.
started it with a little stream where they played a game called Golf with Your Friends.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. And played that on the PC. It was the PC version of it. That was a lot easier to play because you really only need the mouse. I mean, there's some keystrokes, but otherwise it's mainly the mouse that you're using. But
if you're not careful, sounds like Mark, you're gonna get into PC gaming.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath on that.
He does like a Google search. PC games where you only need the mouse. And let's see what we got here.
Oh man,
A
I'm
Baker's
a PC
dozen
gamer.
games. Yeah, I'm a mouse only gamer. I don't do keyboard.
Yeah.
I do MS Paint. I do Golf with Your Friends. I don't know what else uses mouse only.
I'm a very niche streamer.
Minesweeper.
Those broken sword games.
Oh
You ever
yeah,
played those?
point and click adventures. But sometimes you do
Yep.
have to move your character. I know you can click the character around. So yes, that'll
Yeah.
work. That'll work. I like
I'm
that.
okay with a little leeway. Wow, leeway?
I'm making up more words. I heard wee way.
Mark, you need to go to bed.
Yep.
Are you throwing out? I thought you were throwing out a new gas station name like the Wawa.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going
Wee
down
Way.
the local wee way.
Yeah, wee way. Give myself a sub. I love their subs.
Sounds like something Nintendo would put out.
Yes. Yeah. It's their store. It's called the Wee Way.
Yep. I'm good with a little leeway. There we go. But no, it was a lot of fun. I was the worst person playing. I was last every time. But it was still a lot of fun, and that game is crazy. Of course, you're playing all at one time. It's not like you're taking turns, taking swings. You're all playing at the same time.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Sounds like madness.
yeah, and the courses are crazy, like just wacky. Like there's courses where they have you're trying to get across like this huge ravine type thing, and they give you like a jetpack for your golf ball to have. Yeah, I need
Make
to
it
go
up
to bed.
sports,
No wonder you're
Zachary.
in last
Go to
place.
bed.
It's golf,
you
not
were using
tennis.
you were using a tennis ball. You can't do that.
It's 40 love. What are you doing over there, Mark?
Good night, everybody. My goodness.
It's a train wreck. It's a
Mark,
dumpster fire.
you need to save that talk for next week when we talk about sports again. Okay,
Apparently.
save it.
Apparently I do. But no, it was a lot of fun hanging out with that crew. Always good hanging out with Cross, and they upgraded all their looks for their streams and stuff like that. So it looks pretty nice.
Cool.
They're doing a lot of upgrades around there. So big on
Cool.
the Comics and the Cross crew. If you haven't checked them out, definitely listen to the podcast. Check out twitch.tv/Comics and the Cross. I believe it's every Sunday at 2:00 Eastern. They do their podcast live. So, but yeah, that was pretty much it for me. The wife commandeered the Switch this week, playing.
How dare she?
She started playing Skyward Sword. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So
Ooh.
I didn't get to play very much Shovel Knight or Pokemon
Pokemon.
Legends. Yeah. So, but that is it for me.
It's time to, Mark. I think you need to put your foot down this weekend and be like, look, listen, woman.
Well, I
Whoa.
and all our female
No, you
listeners
didn't.
just
You
left
didn't
us.
let me listen. Listen, woman, I love you. You can have another turn with the Switch. You're my favorite woman
Good save.
ever.
Good save. No, the suggestion I made was maybe it's time we get you a Switch Lite.
There you go.
That's really all she ever plays on is in the handheld mode. She doesn't play.
Dude, you're a dad in the making. That's what dads do. They're like, you know what? Let's get you a present so I can play my toy.
Yeah. The old selfless present.
Yeah. I got this for you and me.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that is it for me, Mr. Swisher.
Hi.
We talked about you at work one time because somebody asked about. Have you ever heard
Grass?
somebody? Yes, that's it.
In Brazil.
Yeah, they were curious about it.
Oh, I know this. I can be part of the conversation.
I have a contribution. No, somebody mentioned. Do you guys know anybody that uses 3 names regularly? I'm like, well, yes, we do.
Yeah.
And you were brought to mind. So
Yeah.
There you go.
And no one batted an eye at the middle name Ham. Like usually when someone hears that,
Really?
like, whoa, I need to understand this.
What's the
No one
story
said
here?
anything.
You a big fan of deli meat?
apparently,
No.
apparently, but yeah,
Patrick
That's cool.
Turkey, Novacell.
That's right. I was surprised you didn't say Patrick Bacon Novacell. Leave turkey for Ronnie.
Yeah, maybe roast
Actually,
beef.
I think Mark would be turkey and then Ronnie would be bologna. Ronnie Baloney Johannes.
I love that. Ronnie Maloney.
we need to put that in our intros next week, and Ronnie will have no idea
I
what you're talking
totally am going to put it in the intros. Making a note now. All right. Anywho, on to my week on the life front. As you guys said, I really didn't have anything crazy go down. One thing of note, and I can't say it without laughing because you guys are gonna be like, why are you telling us this? My dog started pooping on the walks, and I'm not a fan. I have walked this dog dozens upon dozens of times, and we have left the walk to be the walk, nothing else. And then one day, oh, go ahead. You're going to say something?
That's crazy that you're just now dealing with that, because
I know.
that's such a dog thing to do.
It is. And to this point, like, for whatever reason, I was just able to find that window and just, it's all business. Like we go on the walk. Sometimes we make 1 lap. Sometimes we make 2. The end, we get home, do your thing either before or after. And it just so happens the day it happened, I stood where the little poop bags are, and I was like, I think I need to take one of these. Something told me, and I tell you what, we got halfway through and she assumed the position, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. What are you doing? This is not what we do. And so from there, the past 4 walks, she's done it 3 times. One of the times in the middle of the road, I was like, I hope a car's not going to come because it's going to get really like awkward. Because we were like crossing the street, and she just was like, you know what? We're not crossing this street till I'm done. She just went. But what's funny about it is ever since she started doing that, I now notice it more when other people are walking their dogs. And I feel for them. I really do. There's this one dude, we were at a stoplight. I look over, this guy's in front of a pharmacy, and his dog, I kid you not, is like Hansel and Greteling his poop. As in making a trail down the sidewalk. Poop a little bit, go a foot. Poop a little bit more, go another foot. And you see this trail of little poop balls going down the sidewalk. And I'm just like, dude, you have fun with that. And people are like walking by
and this spot's mine.
Yeah, and this is mine too. And like people are walking by looking at, this is obviously a long light. We were hitting some Sao Paulo traffic.
Yeah.
But people are like walking by and staring at him like, you gonna pick that up? And I don't know that he picked it up. Mindy said she thought she saw his wife go into the pharmacy to get a bag, quote unquote. I'm like, are you sure she went in there to get a bag? Because it's very common here, like for people to not follow the the pet poop etiquette and to just leave it. It's not cool. They need a lot more signs and laws against such things like they do in the U.S. But yeah, so in the life front, that's the excitement that's been going on. Really riveting stuff. Good stuff, I know. I saved that just for you guys. On the gaming, yeah. On the gaming front, I beat Slay the Spire, kind of. It's kind of like with Hades, I completed a run. You do have 4 characters. I've unlocked all 4 characters in my different attempts to, do a complete run. And I did it with the original one they give you called the Ironclad. And after beating it, you have a very vague, obscure ending. I can't remember. Patrick, when you said you played Slay the Spire, did you finish a run or did you just play it a little bit and then see you later?
Yeah, I didn't play enough to get through
anything. I didn't think that would be your kind of cup of tea, but
it's not.
Just curious. But yeah, so once you beat it, you get to the end, and it is not as engaging of a story as Hades. So you get to the end, you're like, I don't really know what just happened. But at the same time, for me, the whole card mechanics, the roguelike nature of it, unlocking more things that you can use to then do the run again. There's kind of a mystery involved in why you're trying to, quote unquote, slay the spire. Because pretty much the spire is like a living thing, apparently. And so you're trying to conquer it and destroy it, and you don't really know why. And so there's a lot of mystery to it. So I've completed it with the first character, the Ironclad. I'm on to the Silent, which is very different than the Ironclad. The Ironclad in the game is like pretty much just a tank warrior, where between each level you automatically heal HP. You have a lot of strong attacks and a lot of blocks and defensive moves. With the Silent, you're more of like an assassin, and you have like poison strikes and all kinds of different things, but you don't have as much defense. And I've really struggled with it. Like the Ironclad, I did it in 5 attempts. On my 5th attempt, I beat the game, and I was like, well, this isn't too bad. I could do this. I just got 3 more characters. I got it. And so I started playing as the Silent, and I was like, the first time I did it, I got to like within 2 levels of the final boss. And I was like, all right, I got this. And then the next 3, I couldn't get out of the first area. And I was like, all right, maybe I don't got this. And then today, I still have a run going. I think it's my 6th run as the Silent. And I automatically start it with almost a handicap, trying to get what they call relics, where they give you like power-ups. Every time you fight like not a regular enemy, but like a legendary enemy or a boss, you get a relic. And those relics will help you, like give you higher HP, give you defense, give you special cards, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And I did a little gamble at the beginning where you can switch out the starting relic for a random one. And I was like, let's see what we get. And I get one that gives me an extra turn each, like an extra move each turn. And I'm like, that's good, because usually you start with 3 and I get to start with 4. And that really can help a lot. And it said, but the trade-off is you have no idea what the enemy's going to do. And this is one thing I like about this game. I don't know if you guys have played a game like this where, we talked about turn-based games with Chris, and some of us are not fans and some of us are.
Yeah.
But in this game, it tells you what the enemy's going to do. So you can plan ahead and you can kind of react. And I kind of like that about it. There's not, there's the mystery is in like what cards you're going to get. It's not in what the enemy's going to do. You only know the next move. So it's not like every single move they're going to do. But I did this trade-off with this relic, and it took away my ability to see what they were going to do. And I'm like, I did not see that coming. I'd like to take back my old relic, please. And it was like, no. So I've done this. I'm in the midst of this run, and I am wrecking shop. Like, I've just picked up all the right cards. I have no idea what the enemies are going to do. But I pretty much got to the point where I can just spend all my cards, because I have like 5 energy now. Everything's cheap. My damage is good. Everything's good. So I'll have to give an update on this. I'm currently in the final act of this run, and I hope I'm going to beat it with the Silent, and then I'll move on to the next character. But I really enjoyed this game. I'm going to hold off on rating it till I've played more, beaten it with more characters, and maybe even gotten the true ending. We'll find out.
We shall.
In other news, we continue unpacking. Mindy and I continue with unpacking.
Okay.
We beat another level. I told you guys last week that in unpacking, we finished and we only had one item blinking red. And it took us forever to figure out where to put this stupid journal. We get to the end of the next one. We have a dozen items blinking red.
My God.
And we're like, I think we messed up. And so we didn't have to look up any, walkthroughs or cheats. We figured it out. Some of it was pretty obvious. Some of it was like, oh, we did not interpret correctly what this item was. One of them was what we thought was a rolled up newspaper. We put the rolled up newspaper with the toilet because that's what you do in the toilet, you read. And we found out it was actually a poster. And when we put it on the wall, it unrolled itself. And we were like, oh, that's a poster, not a newspaper. We're old.
Whoops.
So it was just stuff like that, like trying to figure out what some of the stuff is. But I'm catching the unpacking fever a little bit, because I will say there was a point where we unpacked some items that we had unpacked in the level before when we were like a kid. And then we were unpacking for college. And we're like, oh, there's our piggy stuffed animal. There's our, different things that we've, in just these 2 levels we've kept because it's a part of, unpacking. And so we relate to that because we have items that we've unpacked at every new place we've lived that we've kept for many, many, many years. So I'm catching the fever. We're not rushing through it. We're not playing every chance we get, but every week we're just going to keep plugging along and keep enjoying, catching the light little story moments through what you unpack. So it's growing on me. So not giving up on it yet.
Good.
The last thing, just played some Splitgate with Marc and Ryan, and all I'll say is that it's better than Halo Infinite. And
told you.
So
I mean,
I know that was a low bar to set. Yeah.
No, but it was fun. I will say that the portal thing was kind of like building in Fortnite, where I'm like, I just don't really want to mess with this.
You don't need to use it. You really don't.
But people used it on me so effectively, and I'm like, I feel like a dinkus, but it is what it is. It still had fun with you guys. I can't guarantee I'll return to it or play it more. Sorry, Ryan, but I can see why people like it, and it seems like a fun game. It feels very much like Unreal Tournament, old Halo, like it just has that feel to it, and it's kind of nostalgic. So I dig it.
You know what we should play is, because it's on Game Pass,
what's that?
Golf with your friends.
All right. I'd be willing to check out Golf with your friends, and we can use a controller. You don't have to use a mouse.
It'll be amazing.
Sweet. You're going to be like, you're going to do that, and you're just going to like wreck shop. You'll be like, this is so much easier. I'm amazing.
Didn't I do this the first time?
Yeah, exactly. So besides that, I also did beat Uncharted 2 this past week. So I'm plugging away. I had a late start to the GMG VGBC, but I'm still plugging away, trying to get myself through the whole saga by February 18th when we jump into some other games. But
February.
We'll see what
18th.
happens.
I don't know if that's going to happen for me.
It's coming fast.
Yeah, I need to try.
Like a freight train. But yeah, I'm going to be on to Uncharted 3 this week, and I hope to start Uncharted 4 before we talk again next week. So we'll see.
Okay.
Besides that, this is the real PSS. This is the real last thing I have to say, because it's also going to go into our topic.
Okay.
I introduced Battletoads to my son.
Oh gosh.
Zits and pimple and what was it? Rash.
Yeah, all the nasty things you could think of. Now we played the classic one. We didn't jump into the new one. I wasn't ready for that yet. I was like, no, I want you to see the OG on the rare replay on Game Pass.
I want you to suffer with what I want you to play this too.
I mean, I put that baby on Infinite Lives and thought, we got this. And then we got to the hover bike part.
Yeah.
There is no amount of Infinite Lives that is going to help my son beat the hover bike part. And honestly, I don't know what the difficulty level is for 2 people to do it at the same time. I remember being hard enough by myself. I don't think I've ever beaten it with someone else at the same time.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It's impossible for sure. Totally impossible.
You know what I need to send you, and then you need to show it to James.
What's that?
The blindfolded speed run of that.
Oh my gosh, that would blow.
Fake news.
Like the whole game?
No, he doesn't do the whole game, I don't think, but he does
Just the
hover
hoverboard.
level. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I could see that. Like I remember getting that rhythm going of like going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, that like just barely. I mean, it was exhilarating, but blindfolded, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Speaking of crazy, we are getting crazy tonight, guys, because we have put our joiners in charge of our topic.
Oh, no.
Not actually our topic, our topics, because we are doing, I think maybe we've done a version of this, but we're renaming it to Joiner Improv, where we are just going to read some questions, some comments. I have no idea what our joiners have said. We're just going to throw it out there and see where the conversation goes, hang out, have some fun, talk about life, games, all those good things. So let's jump into it. That's right, folks. It is Joiner Improv. We are just going to go in chronological order of who posted first in the Discord.
That's fair.
There's no plan, just throwing it out there.
All right.
We threw it out. We said, hey, guys, Joiner Improv. We are just talking about whatever, and you're in charge. What do you want us to talk about? First one, Haley, but vampiric. Talk about me. Emoticon with the tongue out. So, guys, let's talk about Haley.
Well, she's
our friend.
She's a nice young woman who has very she has opinions on games.
You know what? She has passionate opinions on games. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Some people just don't throw the passion out enough for what they think about stuff. And I'm not joking. I'm not just trying to like force a conversation. That's the first word that came to mind when Haley said, hey, talk about me, is passionate. She is just very passionate. I appreciate about that. I appreciate you, Haley.
I tell you what, if there's anything, if there's a question on a game, she'll know.
Yeah,
100%.
For sure. Yep.
Haley can be intense and chill at the same time.
Yeah.
Intensely chill.
Yeah.
Chillence. Is that a word?
And
If
that is not
we're making
a
it
bad
a new
thing,
word.
Haley. So
Not at all.
Nope.
And she's a fellow trophy hunter, so she is the trophy princess. I'm blanking what they call her on PlayStation Experience. The platinum princess. There.
The platinum princess.
Yep.
Almost forgot there. She's a platinum princess. And we are in that trophy hunting club. So she's cool in my book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Second half of what she said. After she said, talk about me, she said, nah, for real though. Too late. You already said it, Haley, so we did it. She said, instead, talk about crime shows.
Dun, dun.
I'm going to be honest. Crime shows. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to throw it out here. I'm going to feel like Marc in sports in this, but the last crime show that I really watched, and I don't even know if it was really a crime show, was Castle.
Okay. Yeah, it's
It's
not
like a comedy crime show.
Yeah.
The true crime show I've watched is the last one. I watched it in college, and that was CSI, the original, with Grisham and the other people that I can't remember their name. But yeah, was it Grisham?
Grissom,
or is that John Grisham? Is that the author?
I think it's Grissom.
John
Grisham is the author.
Yeah, John Grisham. Grissom. Whatever. Yeah. So CSI, that's all I got. But yeah, Castle. I love Castle. If you haven't watched it, it's a fun little series.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say it. Murderville. You gotta watch it. It's the best crime show out right now.
I think more what Haley was going for was like your Law and Orders, your Criminal Minds, your CSI.
No, she meant Murderville.
I mean, she said crime show, and so far all the shows we've mentioned have crime in them.
Daredevil on Netflix, best crime show.
There's crime there.
Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's my favorite crime show. That's a crime show. Yeah. Crime every episode. I love that.
Inspector Gadget. That's a crime show. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's a classic. I love Inspector. I'll get you, Gadget, next time.
Yeah, next time.
Go gadget helicopter. No, I can get on a real kick with those crime shows like the Law and Orders, like Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Criminal Intent. I think there's another one. I think it's Organized Crime. I think that's the new one. I haven't seen that, but like I can get on a real kick when they do those like back to back marathons on like USA or TNT or whatever. I can sit there and just binge that. I get sucked into that.
And binge that to take a nap.
No, I get interested.
I'm saying for myself, if you do too many episodes in a row, I'm going to be like, this is all starting to blur together. No offense to you crime show lovers, but I can only take so much. I need some Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I need some, throw some jokes in there, just
the only one I really like after a while, I kind of have to stop with is SVU, Special Victims Unit, just because those deal with sexual abuse cases.
And yes, that gets get heavy,
really intense.
Now I need to confess, back in the day when SVU came out, my eyes got dyslexia or whatever. I really thought it said SUV, and I thought it was a crime show about people stealing SUVs. Like that's where my head went when I first saw that. I was like, this isn't going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to watch this.
Every single episode?
What SUV did they steal?
These are members of local law enforcement.
We have a specific department that deals in SUVs.
SUVs being stolen.
All right, here's the expert on SUVs. He's got it on his resume right there.
That's right. It's right there.
This is the story of local law enforcement that only drives around in sport utility vehicles. These are their stories. But yeah, no, I love all the Law and Orders, Criminal Minds. Love that. Love watching that show. Another one I enjoy is The Mentalist.
Oh yeah, I watched a couple episodes of that. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I love those. I get big into that, but I don't watch those super often. But when I do, I get sucked in, big time.
Nice. Chris the Rock followed up and said what Haley said, and I immediately called him out for being a cheater.
Called him out on shenanigans.
I said, whoa, buddy. None of that. Not in this house. So he responded.
What did he mean? What did he mean? Did he want us to talk about Haley?
He wanted us to talk about Haley again and talk about
crime shows?
And crime shows again.
So, guys, I love the Law and Order shows. I can get some.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Did you guys ever watch that crime show about SUVs? That was my favorite. No, but then he did follow up and say, okay, fine. Talk about your first crush. Is that better?
No, it's not.
Nope. It is. I'm not going down that road.
Oh, you don't want to go down that route?
Nope.
I will. I've talked about my first crush with my wife. It was second grade, for crying out loud. There's not going to be any issues between
was it your
me.
Teacher?
A Van Halen song comes to mind.
I'm gonna say real crush.
Yes, right.
Even when I was in elementary school, I knew the little crush I had on my first grade teacher, Mrs. Henderson, was not real. It was just like, you're way too tall for me, lady. I can't have a crush on a lady that's like 10 feet tall.
10 feet tall.
You're like a beanstalk.
No, but like as a first grader, it felt like she was 10 feet tall.
Deuce Bigelow is in my mind right now.
Oh my god.
That's huge. Anywho, my first crush was Alicia back in second grade. Actually, it started in first grade. And I remember it was like the last week, maybe the last couple weeks of school. And we had this 2 weeks where we would meet on the playground and we would play tag with all the kids as a group, but we always were looking at each other. I was like, yeah, you're my crush. We go. This is second grade, man. No, this is first grade. This is where it started. I misspoke. It was first grade at first, the last 2 weeks of first grade. Then we went on summer break. And my heart was broken because she got off the bus. I watched her get off the bus. I put my hand on the glass, like in the movies. And I was just like, I'll see you when I see you and I'll miss you. I don't know. I made up some kind of stupid stuff. And then 3 months later, second grade start. And I thought, hey, we're going to start things up where we left off, right? I walk up to her, and without missing a beat, she's like, ew, get away from me, you stinky boy. I hate you. And ran off down, like just ran away from me. And she like never spoke to me again. Girls are the worst. The worst. That broke my heart.
Oof. Breaks my heart.
I didn't date for at least another 3 or 4 years. It took that long to get over.
It took you till 5th grade to date.
5th grade to date again, to love again. I didn't have a crush. I didn't have a crush again until 4th grade.
You're done with women at that point.
There you go. That's my crush. Crush story.
Okay.
All right.
So I had I guess a technical first crush, but I don't know if it really counts or not.
Why don't you tell us, and then we'll decide. Patrick and I.
So I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And there was this girl that was like one street over from me.
Ooh, that's like miles away when you're that little.
Yeah. But she was your Winnie.
Yes.
At least as a 5-year-old.
Yes. She was my Winnie, I guess, but I definitely was not her Kevin.
Fair enough.
But no, I had a crush on this girl. Her name was Angela. And yeah, she lived in the street over from me. And my mom and my grandmother worked for a Days Inn in town. They were housekeepers. And next to the building where the Days Inn was, there's like this field. And I went out there and I picked flowers out of the field in an attempt to give to Angela.
Nice. Smooth.
And I told my mom to give them to her in the mail.
All right.
Which I don't think she ever did that. And I think at one point, Angela knew and she just shrugged it off. And then she moved away and that was it. She completely forgot about me. But no, I guess technically first real crush was in 3rd or 4th grade. This girl named Amanda, who was in my youth group.
There's a bunch of girls with A names. What's that all about?
I married
alphabetical. I married Kristen, so I let go of that.
All the way down to K.
It's a good thing you weren't looking for like a Valerie or Yolanda.
Gonna be waiting a long time.
Yolanda.
Yeah. Poor Zoe. I mean, she could have been in the one.
Kristen just popped over opened the door and put a thumbs up out.
Nice.
So I had a crush on this girl, Amanda, in like 4th grade. She was in my youth group at church. And I know we were friends, but she never wanted to give me the time of day for that. I think I was too much of the weird, nerdy kid for that. But yeah, she would, and she knew that I liked her. But
they always know. Men are never good. Boys are the worst at hiding it.
Yeah.
Be cool, man. Be cool. And we're not cool at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah. There were some times where like she kind of gave off vibes that like she may like me, but just never happened.
Like she looked at you. You were like, oh, she likes me.
No. The big thing was when I was in youth group. See, I used to get my head shaved. Like I would keep my hair like almost your length, Lucas.
Yeah.
And the girls would constantly want to like rub my head.
Oh yeah.
And she was one of them. But I think I don't know if she probably never really liked me like that. But she just continued to date other guys throughout middle school and things like that. And then I was done. I had my heart broken too many times. I was like,
Yeah, man.
this ain't happening. So
Just gotta let him go.
Yep.
And it's a good thing you did.
Yep. Life moves on.
Mm-hmm.
Pat?
Am I going next?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's
my first crush was my first grade teacher. I mean, let's be honest here. And
something about first grade teachers, man.
Unfortunately, she was unavailable, and
Dang
so
it.
yeah.
She wasn't Ms. or Miss. Wait, which one is it? Miss?
She
I think it's Miss.
She was
Mrs.
She was Mrs. She was Mrs.
Oh,
Yeah.
the MRS degree.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, did you still like, I don't know, like on, Valentine's Day in elementary school when everybody gave each other like the cheap little little mini
choose you
card Valentines, sometimes with like Disney characters or cheesy stuff. Did you give her one, or did you
I don't
try to give her
remember,
presents and stuff?
But I'm sure she was the only one that got one.
You were like, nobody else. I only have one Valentine for you, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. All right. On to the next one. Once I can put my password on my phone. You done messed up. Aaron, he doubled up and he asked his question twice. It's the same question. He has two versions. I like his Twitter version one better, so I'm going to read that one. Scary Terry's Dust. You done messed up on Twitter. Asked this: your least favorite title from your favorite game franchise. Thought this was a timely topic because Marc's misadventures with Adventures of Link a few weeks ago. So we already know Marc's answer, but you can give it an additional one, buddy, since that one's a little obvious. We don't want to play it too obvious,
Oh gosh.
So least favorite from your favorite franchise. That's not is that a word? That's a real word, right? Franchise. It makes sense to me. You're a fan of the franchise. It's a franchise.
Come back to me because I need to think.
All right. Come on back to me.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Throw it out there.
Resident Evil 5 and 6 are not like the rest of the Resident Evils. They're all action oriented, and I didn't like that about them. I liked how they came back to the roots, especially in the most recent Resident Evil Village.
Okay.
And the other one is Mass Effect Andromeda. It was not the Shepard story, and it took forever. There's the story is there's twins, brother and sister, and they one of them gets you can either pick to be the female or the male, and one of the things is you're waiting for your. I mean, I'm gonna spoil this because I don't want people to get a different idea here.
I'm gonna have to mute you.
It's like
you're gonna spoil it. I'm gonna take my headphones off because I am gonna play it someday.
Yeah, you don't need to play it. I mean, it's not really.
Don't
it's
need
like
to do that.
Yeah, don't need to play it. I mean, like if you're
no,
going
I have the disc. I bought it. I'm playing it. I don't care about spoilers though. It's fine.
One of the siblings goes into like cryo sleep. Gets hurt on some sort of journey or whatever.
It happens,
and they don't wake up until at the end of the game. So for me, I was like, man, I want this. I want to be on this journey with my sibling the entire time, and it just like it never happened, and I was really bummed about that.
That is a bummer. Yeah.
But if I went in knowing like, okay, they're gonna be in this cryo sleep for the entire game, okay, cool, then I can focus on the rest of it. But for me, I'm like waiting. I'm like, when is the mission gonna happen for my siblings gonna wake up? And never did.
Boo.
Indeed. I think for me, from the Walking Dead series, season 3, where you play as Javier, nothing against Javier, nothing against his family, his story, but I wanted to play as either Clementine or Lee, or that's it. I don't care about anybody else in that franchise.
Yeah.
I guess the boy that Clementine eventually gets, I definitely enjoyed his character arc in the later seasons, but it's all about it was all about Clementine for me. And so season 3, I really didn't enjoy it. The only parts I enjoyed were when Clementine was in it. And anytime, whatever she said to do, I was like, yep, that's what we're going to do. I sided with her every single time. So
Yeah.
that was my least favorite there. The other one that I am forgetting that I had thought of,
Oopsie,
and I'm
oopsie.
making up a song, and I love
I'm
you,
singing.
love you, and I'm singing. I lost it, but I did. I did enjoy the God of War series. Obviously, God of War 2018 is like top 5 game for me. But I even enjoyed the old ones, all of them except for Ascension. Ascension felt like a forced, like we need to cash in on some more God of War. It was like a forced, like a prequel, and it was like, is this really a story we care about? Like it just had these side characters where they were like running out of, like it was after we had already gone through the high point of God of War 3 and like all the stuff that happened in that, and then we're like, let's go back to a prequel and talk about something you don't really care about, and just because, hey, who doesn't love angry screaming Kratos, right?
Right.
So that
That's what you
one,
come for.
just my least favorite. I didn't need it. It could really just, not exist and it wouldn't really matter. But now, of course, being the trophy guy I am, definitely got the platinum on that because it was a one playthrough platinum. But it definitely wasn't anything to repeat. If it comes out with some PS4 remastered version, whatever, I am not going to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the two that I'll throw out there.
Gotcha.
All right, Mark, we gave you lots of time. What you got?
You did. So the Arkham franchise, after playing Arkham City and Arkham Knight, and just how open world those games are, and how deep they delve into the lore of like the characters, like all the villains and things like that, just how much freedom you get. Arkham Asylum just seems kind of like it's fun, but it's not nearly as good because it's very much on the rails, linear. It tells a good story, but it's just like I kind of want to just get to Arkham City at this point. if I'm playing straight through. So yeah, definitely say Arkham Asylum.
I thought you were going to say Arkham Oranges. Dang it, oranges.
No, because that's
son of a gun. How do you say that?
Origins.
Arkham Origins. Yeah. There we go.
No, that's actually not the worst, I would say, because
it is a good one. I was going to be sad if you said Origin.
Yeah.
Forget it. That one.
No, it's the PlayStation Vita Blackgate. That was the worst one.
See, I didn't play that, so.
Don't.
Okay, that's fair. I won't.
There you go. But yeah, I could totally see with Asylum, like once they've given you all that freedom and you feel like Batman in the city, to go back and then it to be like a true like 3D Metroidvania where you're like literally backtracking, breaking Joker's teeth as they chatter through the hallway, and that's the excitement of getting back from A to B. It definitely is not as fun.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yep.
Okay. Fantastic. Next up is gonna be Travesty. He said on the Discord, talk about your significant other's effect on your gaming, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He said 1,000 plus hours of Destiny has caused a wee little rift, but this is your stories, LOL, not mine. Yes, 1,000 hours of Destiny will definitely cut into the significant other time. I mean, if it's within a year, if it's like a few years' time, you can maybe, I think Patrick's played a few thousand hours of Apex Legends in the past few years, but
that's usually
tell us the
when
secrets.
No sleep. That's what it is. I don't start playing until like after 10 o'clock when the wife is getting ready to wind down and go to bed. So that's when my gaming starts.
So
I don't.
How has a significant other? So I guess speak more directly into all of us. Speak directly. How have your wives affected or redirected, or what's the part they play in relationship to your gaming life?
So basically I try to be as respectful as I can with time with my wife. I typically don't, I'm like Patrick. I typically don't play games until after like 10ish or something like that. Except for streaming on Saturdays, which Kristen has been very understanding of, and she's good with it. And so, but for the most part, I try, if I'm going to be doing something sooner than when she's going to bed, I will typically ask, hey, is it cool if I go ahead and play? And typically she's super understanding, and she's like, yeah, that's fine, sure, go right ahead. But I try to, obviously, priorities are important, and so spending time with Kristen is, much higher up. And so if I'm finding that time with the wife is being affected by something, I'm not afraid to say, hey guys, nope, can't do this. But being that she games a little bit herself, she's pretty understanding of the ways that I game. I used to be, a long time ago, there would be days where I'd play like 8-9 hours and nonstop, and I think those days are pretty much long gone. I can't do that anymore. And so, typically I'll play in small bursts, so it doesn't really affect it, time with my wife, because I'm playing in much smaller increments. So
I'm the same way. I don't game until later, and I think it really, just like you, I used to play games during the day, or the weekend, and usually nowadays it's like, do we have anything going on? Is it all right if I go downstairs to the man cave and play some games? But for the most part, I think it was back when we started having kids, and it was like, hey, I wasn't able to play. I was like, no games while the baby was awake. When they're sleeping, all right, play some games. And that was like a habit that was formed, over a decade ago. And so I think that kind of just like, where it is now, they wasn't able to game until they were asleep. And that's really what I do now, is I don't game until everyone's asleep. So I can game as long as I want. So it really hasn't affected our relationship. She knows that games are my hobby, and she has her hobbies too. So, but what I'm really looking forward to is, because, well, right now, like, all my gaming systems are in the basement. Mm-hmm. I can play remote play on my phone. I got a Razer Kishi that I can just play games wherever I am. It's not the same, but I'm really looking forward to having the Steam Deck here coming up later this year.
There you go.
Where I can play anywhere. I can play the AAA games. I can play, Game Pass. I'll figure out how to do that, but Game Pass games wherever I am. So I think that's going to be a little I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work, because I don't play games during the afternoon. I don't play games until after everyone's going to go to bed. So I don't know how much I'm going to be playing during the day, or before dinner or after dinner or before the kids go to bed. So that's going to be a test. But yeah, there has been no strain on video games for our relationship.
And I will say, just to add something to mine, the only time where it's ever really been a problem is if I set a stream time. I'm gonna do something during the week, and I forget to tell her about it. That's when she gets annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
As long as she knows, she's cool with it.
Yeah. With Mindy, she did not grow up with any kind of gaming. She knew a little bit about Nintendo. I think she had some grandparents or some cousins that had, those kind of systems growing up, where she played a little bit. But that was not a part of life whatsoever. Growing up on the mission field, growing up in Latin America, her parents have no idea about anything gaming. In fact, the only thing they know about gaming is from Mindy marrying me, and me, talking about stuff, or it being around, like when we were last in the US, we got stranded. I definitely did some gaming, like in the morning with the kids in the afternoon, and sometimes even Mindy's dad would watch and be like, what are you guys doing right now? And he would ask, and we would talk about it. And but for the most part, it's been It's been something that I think Mindy has been the yin to my yang, and really helped bring balance, because I definitely, from a young age, like, video games have been a hobby, and it's been one that I like a lot of it, and like to enjoy it and play a lot of it, and sometimes, play too much of it. And she has brought balance to me. I think what if, what if she were a gamer, and it kind of scares me? I'd be like, that would not be good for me. If she's like, hey, let's forget responsibilities. Let's just play, play this RPG, or do, like, if she was down with that stuff, I would be so excited and so scared at the same time. I'd be like, this is not going to work out well. Our kids will be neglected. But she just helps bring balance to me. She definitely keeps me in check, keeps me accountable, lets me know when I'm playing a little too much or I'm getting out of focus. I will definitely I don't do late night gaming. Like, once the kids go to bed, it's just her and I time until we go to bed. And then I game early in the morning, and then it just different spurts throughout the day. There are times like when she's focused on making a meal, and I'm like, I'm gonna go run upstairs real quick and do a quick Hades run, or play games with the kids. Depending if they're around. I mean, them being in gaming age has made it even better. To include the kids, and even, like, it's even gotten Mindy more involved. Sometimes we play. Like I said before, played Tetris with her and James the other day, and have played Unpacking, and I love at least a few times a year to just introduce a new game to her that I think she might like. This has backfired. One time I introduced Journey to her, and I got her to play a whole hour, and she's like, is there a point to this? And I'm like, yeah, you just, you're eventually you're gonna get to the top of a mountain, and the end. And she's like, that's all I'm doing is trying to get to the top. I'm not playing this. And she never finished it. She still brings that up. She's like, I can't believe you made me play for an hour. I'm like, hey, whoa, easy. I didn't make you. I encouraged you. I said, no, just keep going. It's really cool. And I mean, it probably worked out, because the second half of Journey, if you haven't played it, can get intense. For the first half is like super chill. It's I can't wait to play it actually with my kids, especially Tasha. Tasha's has heard me talk about it and is really interested in playing it. So we'll see if it gels with her. But Mindy was not. She needs a cut and dry purpose. She needs to know point A to point B. What is the goal? And if she doesn't see that, feel that, she's like, peace, I'm out. I'm not here to artsy fartsy, like, feel the emotions of the ride. It's just a video game. It's not, it's silly stuff.
Yeah.
So
I agree with her opinion on Journey as well.
Fair enough. You'll have that. Not everyone can have impeccable taste like me. But yeah, so that is it with that. That is it with that. Victor Bacon Sullivan said, he didn't say. He asked, is Harrison Ford a better Han Solo or Indiana Jones?
Yes.
You would say that answer. Yes. How do you pick? Better Han Solo? I would say if you go just with the original stuff, the original trilogy and the original trilogy of Indiana Jones and Star Wars, not counting the fourth movie of the Indiana Jones movie, I would say he's a better Indiana Jones. Knowledgeable, action-packed. He's passionate about what he's doing. But if you take into account the sequel trilogy, I would say, even if, regardless of what, Harrison Ford's whatever, to him, Han Solo is not a big deal. Star Wars is whatever. He still probably doesn't understand some of it. Nope. I think he's a better Han Solo when you consider the sequel trilogy. But if it's the original trilogy only, my vote is for Indiana Jones. All right, go. Next.
Agreed.
There you go. Whatever the default is.
You already gave your answer, Patrick. Yes.
No. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be different from both of you.
Do it. Be different.
I've watched the Indiana Jones movies, And it's not that I hate them. It's not that I don't like them.
Better watch your mouth.
I've just never
Just kidding.
been.
Speak freely.
I've just never been a huge fan of them.
Fair enough.
Like I like them okay, but I've never been a huge fan of them. I'm much more into Star Wars. So, for my opinion, he's a better Han Solo.
All right.
Agreed.
All right.
But like I said, they're not
Mhm.
the Indiana Jones movies are not bad movies at all. It's not
The
what
fourth
I'm
one
saying.
is.
The fourth one is not even in. They need to retcon that.
No, they're
like,
only two
do.
movies. What are you talking about?
Yeah. That was
Oh,
that's right.
that was a fever dream.
Yeah.
It was one
like
of those
this-
things like it never happened, like the movie
Yeah.
Shazam or with Shaquille O'Neal or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mandela
Or
effect.
no,
No,
yeah,
it was
Mandela
Sinbad,
effect.
right?
Sinbad,
Or-
that's right.
Yeah, the one with Sinbad.
Yeah.
Mandela
That wasn't a real
effect.
movie. That was
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah, I've never been like huge into them. I've enjoyed them, but it's not something like I've gone back and watched multiple times and things like that.
Mm.
So
All right. All I got to say is we named the dog Indiana.
Dr. Jones.
I love Short Round. He's the best.
Dr. Jones.
Victor Bacon Sullivan had a follow-up question that had nothing to do with it because it's Joiner Improv. Why does PS Now suck so bad, yet remote play is smooth as a baby's bottom? Because it's traveling from your system about 5-6 feet or maybe through your house to your remote play most of the time. I don't know if you use it outside of your house, but I think PS Now has to travel a lot more, miles, kilometers, feet, distances to, get around and get to you. So that would be my guess.
Yeah, there is so much lag with PS Now if you want to stream that. If you download the games, great. Stream it. It's a really bad lag. Really bad.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, so I don't really know. I was just making that up.
Any sort of cloud play for me or anything like remote play or anything like that, I notice the lag
Immediately.
and I just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, some might be better than others. Remote play might be way better, but I still notice it, especially with FPS games.
Maybe they're gonna upgrade it with their new Spartacus.
Twould be nice.
Yeah, it would.
It would indeed. All right, last question from Vic. Waffles, pancakes, or French toast? Quiet at Delvin Cox.
Ooh.
Oh
silence.
man. Wait. Oh, we have to choose one.
Yeah, you can't say yes.
Is it our favorite one? Like, I mean, I got
He didn't
sometimes
say. He just said waffles, pancakes, or French toast. My guess is you have one thing. Like you can only eat one thing. You have to pick waffles, pancakes, or French toast.
French toast. I'm going French toast all the way.
So French
I
toast.
love pancakes and waffles though. So it's
Yeah.
just
No, it's too late. You've already turned your back on pancakes. and waffles.
The damage has been
Waffles and pancakes judge you.
I
done.
mean, if I'm
Yeah.
going to
Went with
IHOP,
the-
I'm getting some pancakes.
You went with
If
the
I'm-
French.
Mhm.
Oh.
If I'm making it myself,
Enchanté.
French toast.
Okay, so French toast. I like French toast, but French toast is out for me.
Like Indiana Jones.
Yes.
I've never been a fan
French
of
toast.
Frenchiana toast.
French toast is the Indiana Jones of the breakfast world.
Yes, okay. I can connect with that. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
No.
So who's the Han Solo?
So
Which is the Han Solo?
I get
Waffles or pancakes?
I get the allure of waffles because you trap the syrup inside the little square.
It's segmented. It's compartmentalized.
Yeah,
It really
I
is.
get-
It's organized.
I get what the waffles are trying to do. I get it.
I get it.
totally picking up what they're throwing down.
Yeah.
Except if you don't fill in every little space,
Yeah, then it's weird.
it's not a complete waffle.
Yeah,
Mm,
Yeah.
right.
It's incomplete.
but I like the taste of pancakes better. So
The plain pancakes, buttermilk, chocolate, M&M.
Buttermilk chocolate.
I can take them plain. But like I love like IHOP their pumpkin pancakes, their chocolate chip pancakes. I think they have like a birthday cake pancake.
Oh man.
Yeah.
If we're doing, the thing is when I think of this question, I think of all the things you add to it to make it good. If someone just slapped down any one of these in front of me and they're like, you can't have maple syrup, you can't have strawberries, you can't have whipped cream, you can't, that's like, oh, I don't want any of these. I want bacon. Like that's my answer. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with bacon too. Or dang it,
I can't go with bacon, so I'm gonna go with bacon.
Yep, I'm gonna pull Patrick. I'll be like, you know what? You don't tell me what to do. I'm going with bacon.
That is a move I would make.
That is. I know. I was inspired by you. No, I am actually gonna go with bacon because I'm gonna go with pancakes, and it's with bacon and cheese pancakes.
Bacon pancakes
cooked inside, and you just put a nice layer of butter on that, and then syrup, and then chef's kiss.
Yeah,
all over that. But as Patrick said, as I think Marc said, it's still like, I mean, waffles, French toast. It's not going to be like, oh no, I don't want that. No, I will destroy any of those three for sure.
Yep,
for sure. All right, last joiner, Lord Zukor. If you could have a sound clip of any video game announcer saying your name / gamer tag, who do you choose and from what game?
Halo announcer.
I know, right? That's what I thought too.
Absolutely.
Well, it would be like Swisher Sweet 71.
Yep. Musique or Mozambique. Mozambique 829.
Mozambique here. Hollywood Bones. Triple Bones.
I don't know.
That was my first inclination.
An announcer. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on announcers. The first one that came to mind was Michael Buffer, but he's not a video game announcer. He's a real announcer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Could have Mortal Kombat
I'm trying to think of the announcers. I was thinking like Madden. He would be an announcer.
Yeah, right? It's boom. Hollywood Bones.
Hollywood Bones. But yeah, Mortal Kombat is a good one.
I think Mortal Kombat, that's a good one. I'll go with that one.
Bones.
Wins. Fatality.
Bonesality.
Yeah.
There you go.
Except it would be more like Hollywood Bonesality. You got to give a little spice to it.
Yeah.
He said, I would get the guy who did the voice for Smash Bros. Melee to say Lord Zukor. I don't know how to say it. Sorry, Lord Zukor.
Lord Zukor.
There you go. In the store of that game. So, yeah, I think I actually have heard that once Marc said it. I was like, that does sound familiar. So,
complete.
Ooh, what about the Street Fighter one? Like when they say the countries, Japan,
USSR,
Swisher Sweet 71.
sounds like Stephen Hawking's talk box.
Oh no.
Well, moving on.
Yeah. You
Sorry,
bring that up.
Just made me think of it.
No, it's all good.
No.
It kind of sounds like the Zoom lady when we start recording.
Recording now.
Recording. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's it. That's all we got.
That's all.
Okay.
Joiners, you're the best. Thank you for the variety. It was fun.
Indeed.
Agreed. Indeed it was. All right. That is all for our joiner-driven improv. As is tradition, some housekeeping, where we offer towels, fluff pillows, topped with Andy's candies, and tip you off to the GMG news you need to know. The GMG stream team pretty much holding down the fort. Chris, the Rock Kerwin, every single morning. He did have to take a little break this last week, but he's back at it. He was playing again this morning. And he's continuing through Mass Effect 2. And so check him out. We are playing, he and I, on Saturday mornings, playing that old Destiny 2. And yeah, it's been fun. And then Marc's continuing the good fight with to rescue Zelda as Link in all the many Legend of Zelda games he's playing over the many Saturdays to come. 10 a.m. Yep. Check it out. But if streaming's not for you and you'd rather tweet on Twitter or discourse on Discord, just get to clicking on all the links in the show notes and in social media. And if you're the giving type, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Spotify, because it does truly help us reach new joiners. And we are going through a dry spell of ratings and reviews. So if you want to be that special someone to get out there and, give us a few stars, give us some kind words, or make up words. If you just want to just completely do a review of made up words, we would accept that. We would love it. In fact, read it on the show.
February is the month of love.
I think so. I think it's the best time to do it. So just to throw that out there. So we want your voice to be heard. Speaking of voice to be heard, we have music. We don't have music. We might have music, but we're not ready to reveal it. I do have some music, but I'll save it for next week. So just kidding. Moving on.
Yep.
That's the shortest segment we've got.
That's right.
And
all righty then. Pat, Marc, and the spirit of Ronnie J, along with you, our beloved friends, family, and adjoiners. Go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game.